say outside, where should people buy? I mean, usually because, people tend to buy where they live, right? At least in terms of the city. Because it took me a lot of courage to actually buy out of Auckland. So tell us about why a lot of your clients are feeling comfortable or confident to buy outside of where they live.
That's a great question. I think in order to feel fully confident, you really need to have three things. So it's the right system, so knowing what type of strategy you'll follow, have the right experts on ground, like actual professional experts who have plenty of evidence of their track record, and three, having the right data. Those last two actually come hand in hand. So almost all of my investors buy in cities or towns other than where they live, and often that's a budget constraint. So they might live in Auckland but they have a budget of $500,000. Well, that's not going to really get you much in Auckland. No. It's also adding to the diversification of their portfolio, such as yourself, to go out into the regions where we know cash flows are often stronger, especially when we're adding bedrooms. So it will strengthen the overall cash flow and often offset some of that negative gearing or top-ups that you actually might be needing to spend right now on an Auckland property, for example. Now, the beauty of having the right people on the ground in those regional centres is that, I have clients who are based in Japan and they completely rely on the property managers. In fact, that's in New Plymouth, that example. They know that if they go online, they can go to tenancyservices.co.nz and they can look up market rent stats. This is precisely what they are. They are generic stats. Those numbers do not tell you what is going on in the market and whether your 2-bedroom unit or your 3-bedroom house in this suburb is median, above or below. You need to have the local insight from a professional property manager, Monica, on the ground to tell you, actually, we have this oversupply of 4-bedroom houses. In fact, people are trying to size down into 3 bedrooms to save money right now. So understanding what's happening in those nuances locally is far more important than using generic stats. So I would say when you have the right property managers on ground, you can be completely confident to invest remotely. The other aspect of that is someone like Monica and a professional team like hers can make sure your tenancy agreements are set up to protect yourself as the landlord or owner and basically match the contract to be favourable to how they know your circumstances. So you're not being treated generically, you're being treated and catered to suit your circumstance, which might be that you are truly hands-off and living in another country and you're relying on them to execute and look after this very important asset for you. So it's huge value. I personally will never ever manage any of my properties again. I got burnt on the first one. And
Did you? You didn't tell me that. Let's get into it.
$5,500 of rent arrears. I was 22 and I thought I could be like this big landlord and be real friendly. I thought I'd play the nice friendly card, and I got walked all over by a 50-year-old man who just refused to keep paying the rent and kept promising and never delivering. Ended up in tenancy tribunal, which was the worst experience ever. I just found it very daunting. I did not feel confident, and I felt like I was the criminal, sort of going into TT. Just that,
Wow.
I think just that kind of process was really daunting and very intimidating. I probably didn't have all my facts ready because I had no idea what to expect. All day, every day, I think my property managers are the most important people on ground to keep my assets safe.
Yeah, and also, it goes from all the professional services, from insurance brokers, mortgage broker, all of that, come together to deliver not just one deal, but protect your entire wealth creation strategy. And I think I'm very grateful that the people you introduced me to have worked really well.
That's great. Yeah, that's great. And having that, thank you for that. And having trusty teams where you've seen them over and over deliver. So the build team, with Andy and the team for yourself and New Plymouth, understanding that they've delivered before, that they've created a certain look or aesthetic or finish, and knowing that you were happy with those examples, you're basically rolling out a system that's repeatable and to a standard that you can expect, which is a big deal because we're always looking to renovate. There's a bit of an unknown and there's a huge amount of trust that comes with that.
Absolutely. All right, so hopefully after today's episode you will feel more confident in terms of actually buying outside of the city you are living in, because we should invest where we can afford and where makes the most financial and economical sense, not where we actually live ourselves. Don't you agree?
Literally echo that.
Thank you, guys.